All right, this is going to be a recording to set up a LinkedIn advertising campaign. So I'm logged into LinkedIn here, and what I'm going to do is click on this little work icon in the header, and I'm going to go to advertise. And LinkedIn's going to take you to the splash. Oh, they skipped the splash page. So usually they take you to a splash page to sign in to the, or click through to the advertising account, but it looks like they didn't do that here. So they've taken us directly to the advertising account. I've already set up an account here, but in order to do that, you would just hit create account, and you would name it, select your currency, and then you can associate it with a specific page. And if you need to, you can actually create a LinkedIn page. And if you're going to run ads in the news feed, you're going to have to, which is the best way to run ads on LinkedIn, besides maybe messaging, you're going to need to link it to a page. So you're going to have to have access to the business page that you're running ads through. You can get that by going to the page and logging in as the owner of that page and clicking on admin, users, and add yourself or whoever you need to as a user to that account. Typically, the user has to like the page. In fact, let me just show you that process. So I'm back on regular LinkedIn, and I'm going to go to my company's page. And this is how I see it as an admin. So the admin would be able to log in and see the page like this. And I'm going to click Admin Tools. I'm going to click Manage Admins. And then I'm going to add an admin. So I can add an admin here. Now, this is where you just kind of have to search and find the person, right? So it's like Bill Gates. All right, so I can add Bill Gates as an admin to potentially to my page, right? And hit save. So when he logs in, he could actually be the admin of my website. This would actually be an interesting way to spam people. I wonder if they would get a notification. Let me discard those changes. And you can delete admins here too. So it doesn't look like somebody necessarily has to like your page to be made an admin, because Bill Gates obviously doesn't like my page, or maybe he does. No, I know that he doesn't. So looks like you can make anybody on LinkedIn an admin. It says here, managing admins just got better. You can now assign various roles and admins who aren't first-degree connections. Oh, look at that. So I could actually go through and just assign a bunch of people as an admin to my page. Interesting. Okay, so you've created the page, and you can actually link the account. Let's go back into the one I've already created here. I'm going to click on this. So it's going to default to this name for the campaign group. So it's not as easy as Facebook, where you can easily name everything. The default campaign kind of gets the basic name, but you're under a campaign performance right here. So I can create a new campaign group, or I can look at performance chart or demographics for my campaigns. So being I'm still setting this up, I'm going to click on this default campaign or default campaign group. Actually, let's go back and just create a new one, right? So create a campaign group, and we'll call this book sales. We'll call it active. We can run continuously from this date. So we'll save. Sure, today. Okay, so there's my book sales. So I can click here, and now I need to create a campaign. All right, so that's fine. I'm going to use this as my campaign group. Now I'm going to pick my objective. So the objective is, in reality, it's for website conversions, but we don't have the pixel installed on the website. So we're going to click website visits. Let me go back. I wanted to look at that other one. Okay, create campaign. Next, video views. Okay, that's fine. So we want to do website visits. All right, so now it's time to pick out our audience. So we've set our campaign level goal, and now we're going into our audience settings. So who are we going to target? Who do we want to put an ad in front of? And I do like LinkedIn because they have this kind of, much like Facebook, this forecasted results. So this is kind of neat. So right now, without selecting anything else about our audience, we're just selecting people in the United States. We can see that there's 170 million people available. So that pretty much tells us there's 170 million people on LinkedIn. And if we wanted to get, we could get this many impressions if we spent around this much a day, and we could expect this many clicks, right? So if we spent up to $2,000 a day, we could get up to 1,000 clicks to our website a day. But obviously we don't want to just send everyone to our website, so we want to pick a specific audience. You can go through here and pick out some really good criteria about people that work for certain companies, demographics, education level, job experience, what have they worked in the past, interests and traits. So this is going to be like professional groups, so if you want to target somebody that's members of certain groups. So this can work really, really, really well. You can pick out company categories, followers of certain companies, companies that are growing fast, companies that are large, companies that are small. And then you can continue to change that. So you could pick out, let's say, healthcare companies that are growing fast and then target the VP of sales for those companies, right, by setting them like a job title. So this is using LinkedIn's data. And LinkedIn's very good for B2B type sales, right? Business to business. If you're trying to sell something to another company or people you're never trying to sell something to another company, right? But you are trying to sell something to people in those companies. So pick out your language very carefully, pick out your people very carefully that you want to target. The closer you can get to your perfect customer, the better. We're actually going to use audiences. So we're going to do a lookalike audience or a match audience, based on a list upload. So if I click audience and list upload, I can upload a list of companies. So I can say, all right, I want all the people in these companies, then you could actually filter it by different job titles in those companies. So that's very cool. Like, let's say your companies you want to target, but you don't necessarily know the titles of or the names of the people. So you could say, I want all the HR directors in these 300 companies, right? Or you can upload a contact list. And that's what we're going to do. And we've already done that. One thing you can do, though, if you are going to upload your own list, you can click here to upload a list, and you can download the list template for the contact list or the company list template. So I'll just show you what those look like. So for the contact list, you're going to want to know their email, first name, last name, job title, employee, company, country, and if you have it, their Apple ID or their Google ID. So you can buy this information from like list builders. They'll give you these IDs, or their Google AID, in the Apple IDFA. So these are specific codes that like Apple or Google will assign to people. It's their I guess you'd call it their digital identity. You don't have to fill out all of these information. I mean, obviously the main one you'd want to fill out is the email, the first name, and the last name. The company list, last time I checked it, was just the company name and the website. I don't know if you necessarily need the website. Oh, it looks like it's gotten a little more robust. I think maybe the minimums were the company and the website. So if you do have a list of companies, you want to go ahead and put those websites in there. Okay. So we've already uploaded our list, and it's still building. We've given it time. One thing to note, you have to have at least 300 people to do a match on LinkedIn. Okay. So we're going to target this list, and we're going to target any of the following attributes, this list. All right. So one thing I also want to create is a lookalike off of that list. So let's see. Let's do match. I don't think it's going to let me do this off of that. So it doesn't have any audiences, so this is going to be my... That's interesting. So I do have an audience here. Let's get through the rest of this, and then perhaps we'll try to create a lookalike audience too. But let's click on it again and see if it lets it. Nope. Okay. So we've set United States. It was default English. We've actually clicked here to add our culture of sales contact list. Here's where you could narrow it further. So let's say out of that list, we only want to target certain people in that list based on job title or any of the other things you can target with. It's going to let you do that. If let's say we uploaded a match and we don't just want to target the match, we actually only want to target the lookalike. So for instance, if we had a match audience of people that had bought our product, we want to create a lookalike audience of people very similar to them, and then we want to exclude the match because they've already bought our product. In this case, the match has not bought our product yet. This is our target list. And it's about 500 people. So it's a pretty robust list for this campaign. But again, we will try to create a lookalike as well after we get this set up and running. Okay, We will allow for audience expansion. We're going to do a video ad. For some reason, it seemed like it changed something when I clicked that. Yep, that's good. Now let's see if we can actually, now that it's got that saved there, I'm going to try this one more time. Nope, okay. All right, so we do want to do a video ad. We'll allow audience expansion. So we're not going to exclude any categories or block any groups or people. Our daily budget, let me check my notes on that. So go into my projects here, and I'll grab that client's information. Again, we use Teamwork for all of our projects, and all of our clients are listed as actual products, or excuse me, projects. This client is Culture of Sales. I'm going to go to Notebook, and I'm going to check out Advertising Notes. So here's my notes here. So $23 a day budget. All right, so let's make that 23. We'll start it today. We want a maximum delivery. And here's where we could get the conversion tracking code. So if you wanted to track conversions, we could set up the thank you page conversion. The problem with this is it's using a software to where once they actually click and convert, they go to a different website, so it wouldn't necessarily work. And they are tracking everything internally, so we will know once people convert. The benefit of those installing all the code is LinkedIn would know who converts, and they could maximize the delivery based on that. And that would be a conversion campaign. Again, because we don't have the code installed here, we're not going to do that, but that is an option for you if you want to get, if you want a better performing campaign. And assuming this campaign performs fairly well as we test it over this next month, then maybe we'll go back and actually install those codes in there and get that working. Okay, so I'm going to hit next. I'm going to save. Campaign saved. So it's hard to change these things once you kind of go through that process. All right, so now is where I'm going to create a new ad. I'm going to upload my video. So I already have this running on Facebook. So let's jump over to Facebook, and we'll take a look at the campaign. It's kind of nice because we have the data of what works already on Facebook, so we know exactly which video to use and what language to use. So here's our campaign here. The conversion campaign was the one working the best because it was the actual adds to cart, because we did have the code installed. So we started off with landing page views, and then we switched, kind of like I was saying we're doing with LinkedIn now, which would be our traffic campaign, and then we switched to conversions after we saw some success. All right, so we want to get to the ad set. Actually, let's go to the ad set that performed very well. Let's hit edit, and now we're going to see which video, excuse me. So here is the ad. It looks like, yeah, I already dropped the ad down to this single ad. The other campaign actually had all the different ads. I can show you that. So if I go to the match ad set, or excuse me, if I go to the traffic campaign, I can see that here's all the original ads that we ran, and we narrowed down to the best performing one was video ad 8. And then we looked at the different languages we use, and the way that you do that is you can go to breakdown right here by dynamic creative element, and you can click the description, I believe. No, not the description. Let's look at the text. So we can see which main text worked the best, right? And we can go through and kind of see a breakdown of which, out of these text options that we use, which ones actually work the best using the data. So we know which one worked the best, and I went through and put that in the new campaign. So you can see I got it down to just number 8, and I used this language here. So let's grab that number 8 video. I'm going to get that in another window. Okay, that's uploading. Now we've got that uploaded. We can just name this video 8. Here's our introductory text, which we have right here. And we've already tested that again, so we know that works well. And be careful with truncating this. Like if I added more text, see how it says see more? That will cost you a click. So you don't want that. So take that extra text out. So it looks like you need to keep it, somewhere under 500 characters. And then I have my headline already from my Facebook test. And my destination URL is going to be this URL, but it's got some UTM codes. So I'm going to change that from Facebook to LinkedIn. And you can see my UTM codes here are, there's the landing page. Here's the question mark that starts the UTM code. Source is going to be Newsvara, which is a partner. Then LI is for LinkedIn, and 8 is for video ad number 8. And then our call to action on Facebook was learn more, so we'll make that our same call to action here, learn more. Okay, here's what our ad looks like on desktop. Here's what our ad looks like on mobile. Get your free copy. I really would like it to say get your free copy. Get your free copy. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I like that better. Learn more. All right, and that one's ready to go. We don't need captions to the video because it doesn't have any audio at all. So you would need captions if like you have like a talking head video. All right, so that is set. So we need to set up the billing information, which we'll do separately. So it's going to just review and launch. So I want website visits. The campaign group is book sales. I'm going to run it continuously until I stop it. Audio expansion is enabled. I'm targeting this contact list. It's a video ad. It's going on the LinkedIn Audience Network. The daily budget is $23. No conversion were added. Launch campaign. Okay, now we'll go to account overview. So it's not running because there's no billing. So we're going to, I'm going to go here, go to Billing Center. All right, so I've set my credit card in there, and it looks like this campaign is active. Oh, so audience is too small. Okay, so that makes sense because our list wasn't that large. So what we want to do is we want to look at our matched audiences. It's still building, so it's less than 300. Let's see if, oh, so we can't create a lookalike based on that audience. All right. Because it's less than 300, but it is still building. So that's why we can't create a lookalike on it, because it needs at least 300 matches. So it is still matching. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to our campaigns. We're going to go back to our book sales. We're going to click on this campaign. We're going to manage it. All right, so now I'm back in the editor. So now I'm going to add, all right, we have contact list, and I want to look up people by their job experience. So I want to target people by job titles, and I want sales manager. So I'm going to do area sales manager, regional sales manager, manager of sales, national sales manager, territory, that's fine. So I want it specifically to be like a sales manager role, because that's exactly what our advertisement states. Are you a sales manager? So everything else can stay the same. So basically what I've done is our initial list was too small, so I've created this current job title sales manager list, and now the audience is going to be much bigger because there's hundreds of thousands of sales managers in the United States. Okay, so let's hit next. Let's hit next. Now it should be and. Okay, so what I did was I made that they have to match all of these things. So let's go back. Let's go back again. I'm going to edit this to be or. Oh, yeah. So they can be one or the other. They can be contact list or job title sales managers. So that should fix that issue. Okay, because before I was actually just pulling sales managers out of my list. Now that creative's in review, so this won't go live yet until that creative is approved. Yeah, now those aren't in separate blocks, right? And to meet any of the following criteria, so they can be in our contact list or they can be in job titles. All right, save and exit. So that should fix our issue about create. So it's no longer status as audience too small. It's now creative is in review. All right, so I'm very happy with that. We figured out why we couldn't create a lookalike because our initial contact list, even though it was over 300 when we uploaded it, it has to match at least 300 people to create a lookalike. So that was our issue there. And this should launch soon, so I'm excited to see how this does. Thanks for watching.